Shalom. All praises Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS and honors out to the brothers doing the work in sincerity and truth. Once again, this is another news update. I'll start by reading this scripture in Revelations 20 and 8. Straight to the point. I might as well start from 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, north, east, south, west, Gog and Magog, which represents Russia. How do you know that? By looking at the actual imagery. When you look at an old biblical map, you'll find where Magog is shown on this map. You can see here, pretty much you can see that it is Russia. So what you'll realize is the people living where Magog was in the ancient world would be these Edomites today. So they're the modern day. This is what when the scripture says Magog, it's really speaking about these Russians. Okay, now let's go back to this scripture in Revelations 20 and 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. You got a lot of proxy wars and hearsay, you know, where these both sides, the Americans and so forth, NATO, against these Russians, they've been using these proxy wars really on a lower scale leading up to World War III, you know. I'll read on. Gog and Magog to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, which is their military, man. And so many men are going to be gathered to do this war. And that's speaking about the war between NATO, Russia, and the old Soviet Union and the whole world. So this war is not that far away, man. And I'm going to prove that by showing you this article in the news on dailymail.co.uk. Russia's Air Force conducted a mock nuclear attack against Sweden during war games. NATO reveals a day after it is claimed Putin's forces could overrun Europe in days. And there's a quick caption of about 5 pictures, which I'm about to show you. There's the first one. This map is a map of how a US military think tank believes Russia could overrun NATO to take the ballistic states in just 36 to 60 hours. Even with a week's notice, NATO's 12-strong fleet would be no match against Putin's 27. Okay. Russia could overrun Eastern Europe in just 3 days because NATO has been caught napping by Vladimir Putin and would be outgunned according to US military predictions. All right, so I'm going to read everything, man. So you can see by the news and reports that this thing is getting pushed more and more. And continually, you're going to see more news articles out there that's going to back up the fact that, well, really, it's going to back up the scriptures or the prophecies that World War III is going to come to pass in a time that you're living in. And the more we bring this out, man, it's more glory to the Lord, you know. So with that, I'm going to say all praises Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Moonstone, and shalom.